What's up, everybody? It's Justin in Puerto Rico. Thank you guys for being here. It is AMA Day. It's Wednesday. So obviously things look a little bit different. If you could see the way that I rigged this, you'd be so proud of me. Just to make sure I could do this on Wednesdays, because I'm always here for you. This is Ask Me Anything number 37. That's 37 weeks, okay? So I'm in this beautiful little Airbnb. It's wonderful. I love it here. It's very New Orleans. Puerto Rico is very New Orleans. It's very, really skinny cobblestone streets. I have this great little apartment. So I have I just grabbed, it's stuck, but I have these random lamps that I found around places. Which is my lighter, right? Can you tell that I made YouTube videos for years and years? I improvise, right? This is how we do things. So let me throw this up here, make sure that lighting looks good. I'm also live on my computer. So my phone's been being a little bit funny. The Wi-Fi here is very spotty. The cell phone service is very spotty. I was actually shocked. I didn't know that Puerto Rico was quite different from the rest of the United States. So I don't know if you guys know this. Those of you in Clovis know this, but I am an extreme workaholic, right? I do a lot of things all day, every day. So I travel with zero research. I've always been that way. Iceland, Norway. I did a lot of research before I went to Peru, because I was going to Peru for Spirit Quest and ayahuasca and things like that. So I did a year and a half of research prior to that. But other than that, I fly by the seat of my pants. I will literally show up in a new country and get a hostel for $12 a night and figure out where I'm going that day when I wake up in the morning. That's kind of how I roll. So I didn't do a lot of research before I got here and was shocked. I mean, really, the primary language seems to be Spanish. There's a lot of English, of course. But I really have gotten to test my Spanish skills, which is really cool. I love it here in terms of, it's basically been the number one of everything besides today. Today I did a tour of a rainforest. Again, if you guys don't follow me here, I'm gonna put this in the comments. This is pretty cool now because I'm here on my computer, so I can do a lot of typing. I don't have any notes in front of me. So I'm just gonna type it like this and have it not tag me on Facebook. But there we go, it showed up properly. Okay, so at Justin Nault and at the Clovis Culture. And those are my Instagram handles, right? So I run both of those accounts, and you can see the day-to-day. Like today, we did this incredible tour of El Yunque. I believe they say El Yunque, which is this incredible rainforest. We saw some waterfalls, we saw incredible beaches, we had fantastic local seafood, octopus salad, which was just insanely delicious. It was incredible. But anyway, it's been a great trip. I am here for you guys, as usual, so I wanted to do something different because we've never done this. And we've joked about Clovis drinking games or this, that, the other thing. So I just came from this incredible little restaurant called Verde Mesa, which was incredible. And we had duck, and we had these incredible mezcal margaritas, and I had this play on a passion fruit old-fashioned, right? Just delicious drinks. They were great people, and our tour guide for the rainforest tour was a local, works at a restaurant here called Marmalade. So she said, you have to go to this place, tell them that Katia sent you. Katia was lovely. She spent 8 hours with us today. It was incredible. So for the first time ever in Clovis, I decided that we're gonna do the AMA like this. What? Amazing. This is a delicious red wine from Italy. It's fantastic. So we're gonna sip on this, and this is gonna be super casual. This is the first time in 37 weeks that I don't have a prepared AMA for you. You guys know me if you listen to the podcast and you listen to the AMAs and you hear for the live videos. I can literally rant about anything that I need to rant about for 7 hours if you let me. But I am here for you. I want you guys to understand that Clovis is everything for me. It has been for a very long time. A lot of people don't realize that I started this company. I formed Clovis LLC in June 2014 after I invented the Perfect Paleo Powder. And here I am. I never knew that I would do custom coaching, custom nutrition plans. I never knew that I would do lifestyle coaching. I never knew any of that. I just wanted to sell this product that didn't exist in the space, right? So here we are. The new iteration of the website and everything has really been since February. I built that Shopify store from Denver, Colorado. I was in Denver, Colorado when I built the website with Josh Haley in February. So here we are, and things are fantastic. And that's because of you guys. So I want you to understand that I don't do anything for a living that I don't love. And we've chatted about this before. I would never do anything for money that I don't love. It's the reason why I have made the decision to leave the bar world. I'm not going to be doing bar gigs for doing pianos anymore after September. That's the first time I'm announcing that publicly. But come October, there's no more bar gigs for me. I will still do my company, Rock and Roll Pianos, which I own. That's private events, corporate events, weddings, that type of thing. But I won't do bar gigs anymore because I don't enjoy it anymore. So all that said, the reason I'm saying that is that's the reason that I'm here right now, even in Puerto Rico, right? I want to talk to you guys. I want to be here for you. I know that when I take a trip or I go somewhere, your health journey doesn't stop because I'm in Puerto Rico, right? It doesn't. I'm here for you. I've made, I believe, somewhere between 15 to 24 custom nutrition plans here since Sunday night. I'm doing a ton of custom nutrition plans, answering a bunch of questions. I'm doing a 6-week CrossFit challenge with a CrossFit gym in San Diego. It never ends, guys. The recipe book is still being built out, all these things. It never ends because I don't want it to end. I love doing this. And you guys allow me to do it. Thank you so much. You allow me to have a digital company. You allow me to have an e-commerce platform. You allow me to have a voice as a quote-unquote influencer, although I'm very uncomfortable with that term. But you guys allow me to do this, and that's why I'm here from Puerto Rico, here for your questions. So speaking of which, this is live Ask Me Anything number 37, okay? And we don't have any questions yet, except for where's the tequila. So I just had some tequila. That was at Verde Mesa, right? Verde Mesa, yeah, that was it. It was 2 that we were torn between, but we went to Verde Mesa, and delicious. This great little mezcal mixed drink. They had this mixologist, which those guys always impress the hell out of me. They're unbelievable. So don't have any tequila here. I just have this bottle of wine. That's all I have for alcohol here at the Airbnb. Where's Iris? I didn't travel with Iris to Puerto Rico. First of all, don't call my exotic black bug Iris, okay? That's not an appropriate name for an exotic black bug. Let's just be honest. His name is Arnold, okay? I'll tell you the backstory if you want to hear that. I can tell you the Arnold backstory of why he's named Arnold. John Burnett, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. All right, so first things first, let's get some questions out here. What do you guys want to chat about? I can tell you more about Puerto Rico if you want to. I have really examined the nutrition space here in Puerto Rico. There is a very high prevalence of diabetes here. They drink the most alcohol per capita of the entire United States. There is a ton of fried food. A lot of their local specialties are things like plantains and papaya, normally fantastic, except they deep fry all of them in industrial vegetable oils. It's real tough. So all like the classic Puerto Rican dishes, you know, are just fried in horrible vegetable oils. Although the base of those foods are perfectly acceptable, they just mess them up. It's all in preparation, right? We've talked about that before. If you come to me and you're like, hey, I eat sourdough bread every day that I ferment the wheat and make it myself every day, I'm like, okay, cool, keep doing that. You know, there are no blanket statements. There are no foods that are just evil, you know, and no foods that are just always terrible for everyone, always. It's very individualized, and preparation is everything. That's a big deal, right? So it's just interesting to watch out here. Let's see. We don't travel with Iris. I don't know who Iris is, Krista. I don't know who this Iris character you're talking about is. I know Arnold, and I know how Arnold's life went, and I know that Arnold had a quick, easy, and painless death, which is not like the rest of nature. If anyone out there is anti-hunting, go look at the Instagram page, Nature is Metal, M-E-T-A-L. Nature is Metal. If you check out Nature is Metal for like 5 minutes, you'll be like, oh, hunting's awesome. It's merciful, right? I want to know how to have a gut of steel like you have. Okay, so a gut of steel like I have, that's interesting because I probably started 6 to 7 years ago, maybe more like 7 now, right where you guys are. My diet consisted of whole wheat pasta with pink vodka sauce and hormone-filled lean chicken breasts and tilapia, farm-raised tilapia and brown rice. And when I was on the go, it was Subway sandwiches with whole wheat bread and blah, 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 all those things. My gut was a mess. It was a catastrophe, right? I had this little, I can try to make myself look like I used to 7 years ago. How's that? This is amazing. This is the best I've ever looked on an AMA, everybody. But this is kind of what I look like, right? It wasn't like, nobody thought I was a fat person, right? But I didn't have abs. You couldn't see my abs, which is ridiculous. And I was just like this. Like if you go back and watch my TV show, like The Big Time on ABC. So if you Google like Justin Nault, The Big Time, or Justin Nault, ABC on like YouTube or whatever, you can see me. Like I have this big fluffy hair, and like I just am kind of like this, you know, like my gut was terrible. I had no idea. I focused exclusively on gut health for probably 3 years. And the nice thing about that is I hit a ton of obstacles and did a lot of things wrong that you guys don't have to because you have me. Sam and Krista, there's one thing I can tell you right now. Get the book Healthy Gut, Healthy You by Dr. Michael Ruscio. Get it, read it, absorb it, and whether you think you need it or not, I would probably do the Great and 8 gut health steps. I would probably do that. It's the best book on gut health I've ever read. And I mean, I'm a psychopath, guys. I've literally considered flying to Europe just to do fecal matter transplant. Like 6 years ago, I was like, well, I can just skip all these steps and all these months and months of experimenting, and I could just do, you know, a fecal matter transplant. I don't care. I don't care what's crazy or extreme. I biohack all the time. So that's what I thought about doing. And I got into the fecal matter transplant space because of my niece, Savannah, who's 100% vegetative. And I was like, well, this fecal matter transplant makes mute kids start speaking. Like, what? This is crazy. So I was really looking into it for Savannah, but you can't get it covered by insurance. You have to fly the baby to Europe. I mean, she eats through a feeding tube. We're going to fly her to Europe. Like, there's so much craziness to it. But I focused exclusively on gut health. I got my gut health mapped at first by uBiome, but I don't actually recommend uBiome now because they don't really tell you much. If you really want to get a full GI map, get a functional medicine doctor, first and foremost, very important. Number 2, use Genova Diagnostics and get a full GI map. The letters GI, gastrointestinal, GI map. Get a full GI map, which is a substantial stool sample. Understand that, right? Costs about $300, I think, and you're going to need a functional medicine practitioner to help you navigate that space. It's way tricky, and I can't do it for you because I can't give you medical advice. So that's what I would do. Get Healthy Gut, Healthy You, but go further than Michael Ruscio does, because Ruscio is like, I don't like testing. It's too expensive. I get all that, but you guys are Clovis, like you're hardcore. You want the best of the best. So do a full GI map, and then do the Great and 8 from Healthy Gut, Healthy You, and then get another GI map. Spend the money, prioritize, right? And by the end of that process, you can be like, oh, I have a gut of steel. Literally nothing I do is going to affect me. Or if it does affect me, I can fast for 24 hours. Like when I get back from Puerto Rico, like Sunday to Monday, I'll probably do a 24-hour fast. I'll be fine. I'll still have abs. It'll be awesome, right? Like I don't feel like I can travel like you do and not get an upset stomach. Now also, I travel. There is a full bottle here of coconut charcoal. I use Bulletproof. I think that Dave does a great job with his products. So I use Bulletproof activated charcoal, and I travel with it on every single trip that I go on, and I take it every single day, literally. Like I went to a Mexican restaurant yesterday, and I was like, oh, I was eating the fajitas, and I was like, this is cooked in vegetable oil for sure. And I had a tequila and tequila soda, which is a lime wedge. So I like had these fajitas, had a tequila soda, and took 3 coconut charcoals right there. They were with me. They were with me right there, right? Arnold is a homeboy. A homebody. A homebody, not a homeboy. Arnold is a homebody. Yeah, he doesn't have much say in the matter. Arnold is delicious. What do you think about people wearing electronics, sticking their iPhone in their bra? Yeah, this is tricky. So one thing that I want you guys to understand is that athletes are always far ahead of the game. The best athletes in the world, not all athletes. So here's what you have, right? And this is going to piss a lot of athletes off. That's cool. If you're an athlete and I piss you off, come do jujitsu with me. It's no problem. We'll sort everything out, right? There's 99% of athletes, and then there's the 1% of athletes. There are some 1%ers like John Jones of the UFC who are freak athletes. He can go on a cocaine bender 10 days before his fight and then win the world championship. There are some people like that. They're very, very rare, right? The rest of that 1% are guys like Tom Brady. he has a TB12 program. He's meticulous about his nutrition. He doesn't lift heavy weights. He uses resistance bands and all these things, right? The top 1% they're literally scientists, right? So there's like Omega Wave for HRV, or I've talked about Elite HRV, or the Oura Ring for HRV, and all these things, right? There are electronics that are very helpful. But the reason why I say this is there are a lot of Division I college schools that restrict their athletes. Like your scholarship can be in danger if you carry your iPhone in your pocket. Because carrying the iPhone in the pocket, it's very close to your testicles, which play a large role in your testosterone production. And it's epidemiological studies. We don't really have causation. There's the causation, correlation, bad science thing. I carry a phone in my pocket. I absolutely do. It's just one of those things where I feel like I have everything else figured out. It's totally cool. So there's a lot of college athletes that are carrying their phones like strapped to their bicep or something like that. Fanny packs. There are dudes that use fanny packs now for their cell phones, literally. Because there is this idea that for men particularly, it can cause issues with testosterone when you're carrying it in your pocket, right? That's a big deal. The jury's out. I tend to lead towards better safe than sorry, but again, I do just about everything else to optimize my hormones and my health, so I don't worry much about it personally, but I do think it's a problem. So if you're eating Wendy's every day and your dessert for every other meal is a Wendy's Frosty, and you're ordering from the keto menu at Wendy's, right? And you're carrying your cell phone. I mean, it could be a problem, maybe. They have RFID cell phone cases. There are all sorts of RFID cell phone cases that you can get that are readily available. You can get an RFID case for your laptop. So if you stick your laptop in your lap, there's that. There are EMF, what's it called? Guys, I'm 3/4 drunk. What am I supposed to do right now? EMF filters for your entire house. You can time your electronics to turn on and off at night. I could write a whole article about this stuff. Literally, I went crazy with it. I had an RFID thing for my laptop, an RFID case for my phone. It was too much work, so I just literally stopped doing it. So one of those things, I was like, ugh, I'm going to give into this one, right? But no, I think you're absolutely right, Sean. Or whatever you've heard, I think it's tricky. Absolutely. I think if you're not eating 300 to 600 grams of carbohydrates a day, you don't have to like, my cell phone's giving me cancer. Glucose feeds your cancerous cells, you dummy. Stop eating all the glucose and you have less to worry about, right? That's all it is. If you're living a proper life, you have less to worry about. The risk factor is very, very low. Did you pack any Clovis approved foods for your trip? Only approved foods that I packed. Let's take a sip of wine together, everybody. I just cheers my computer for the first time in my life. The only Clovis approved foods that I packed were some Epic bars and fat loss. I brought paleo loss. That's literally it. It's the only thing I brought on this trip. Because I had heard that Puerto Rico is a really good food town, and if you're careful, it is. We've had fantastic food, fantastic fresh wild caught seafood, marmalade, which was the best dining experience of my life. We had lamb, we had beef. It was 100% pasture-raised grass-fed beef, 100% pasture-raised grass-fed lamb, wild-caught seafood, all of it, 100%. It was just unbelievable, fantastic. So I tend to do all right no matter where I'm at. And my whole thing is when I'm traveling, I don't track any macros, and I do a lot of fasting, right? So it's like dinner to breakfast is usually a very long fast, those kinds of things. I don't worry much about it, guys. But also remember, I don't give you guys the same advice that I live by because we're at different places, right? Wherever I am right now is exactly where I'm supposed to be. I am an individual and my journey is my own. I do not measure my progress against anyone else's. So I never want you guys to see my travels in Puerto Rico and be like, I'm going to do what Justin did and hope I don't get a stomach ache. No, you probably have holes the size of the Grand Canyon in your gut lining and you can't do what I do. Not yet, right? That's finite versus infinite gains. We go back to finite versus infinite gains. I want you guys to think about that. What is the infinite gain? And we'll get you there, for sure. Down the line, we'll get you there. It's totally cool, but we got to get you there first. So Clovis approved foods, but to answer your short story for your question, I just brought fat loss powder and a couple Epic bars, and that was it. And like here, I went to the grocery store and got 92% dark chocolate. It was fantastic. Went to a great little breakfast spot, got eggs, bacon, avocado, a couple slices of ham on the side. Like I can make pretty much anything work when I'm traveling. Question, if you hit your macros and get enough sleep but you are stressed, is it possible to gain weight? Yep, 100%. It is the single biggest challenge. You just touched on the single biggest challenge in my life, which is why I have finally made the decision to bite the bullet and leave Big Bang. So I'm gonna give you guys an example, right? This is gonna sound super shitty, but sorry, I'm sorry if this sounds pretentious, whatever. But like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna quit Big Bang, right? And I won't say the number. It's gonna be ridiculous to say the number, but it was very close to $1,000. I'll tell you that much, right? So I was like, I'm going to quit this gig. It stresses me out like crazy. I don't like people watching. It makes me sad. I'm up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. It's ridiculous. I don't enjoy it anymore. It's inside of Dick's Last Resort now. They moved to a new location. It is very weird and cheesy. I've been doing it for 15 years, guys. I've been playing gigs for a living for 15 years. I don't enjoy it, right? I'm like, no, I'm over this. I'm going to quit. So I have one night left, the 28th, which I haven't decided if I'm going to get covered yet or if I'm going to go play it. But so the last night I played was my second to last night. I'm like, oh, I'm done with this. I'm definitely done with this, right? It was a crappy night. It was dead. Almost nobody there, but we had big tippers there. So I was on stage for 3 hours and, like I said, made very close to $1,000 and was like, whoa, this is crazy. I mean, I can work 2 nights a week and pay all my bills and live the lifestyle that I want to live, right? But it doesn't make me happy. So, Krista, to answer your question, 100%. If the only thing that you have wrong in your life is stress, it will affect your health 100%, period. That's why I have a sauna in my house. It's why I meditate every day. It's why I do Panda Planner and journal every day. It's why I force myself to read books for pleasure every single day. It's why I train 5 days a week, because I really need to de-stress. I need something like gymnastics rings, something to focus on. It's why I do jujitsu. Jujitsu is one of the only times in my life that I can actually check out, because if I'm thinking about Clovis while I'm doing jujitsu, I'm gonna get choked, right? So I have to be there right in the moment. I mean, I spend a large majority of my time combating stress because I'm working for you guys all the time, right? But I spend a large percentage of my time combating stress because it's that detrimental for human health. It is that detrimental. Stress and sleep, right? So look up the detrimental effects of stress and then sleep. If you read the book Why We Sleep, read the book Why We Sleep. It's going to change your life. You'll be like, oh my God, not sleeping is the scariest thing in the world, right? Allergies, what does food and environment have to do with them? A ton, right? Now, I will say this. I had seasonal allergies that were crippling, literally crippling, like absolutely crippling. My seasonal allergies were so bad, it was like I would take Benadryl and take Zyrtec and Flonase up my nose and eye drops every single day and blah, 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 all this stuff for years and years and years. I had chronic sinus infections. Now, that's a longer story too, because I boxed in college, you guys know that. And at some point, I broke my nose probably multiple times. I just don't know how many times. So my nose is pretty big. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that, but it's very fat because I had surgery on my face. So at some point, I broke my nose and the bridge of my nose broke and a fragment of that bone lodged in my sinus cavity and basically blocked the world from this left sinus cavity. So that left sinus cavity just festered, right? And I would get sinus infection. So I was on antibiotics every 2 to 3 months for years and years and years, right? So I don't really know. Was it that my gut microbiome was weak because I was napalming it with antibiotics and I always had sinus infections and I had all these seasonal allergies? But the biggest aggravators that I know of for seasonal allergies are dairy. Dairy is huge, huge, huge. Dairy, grains, gluten. Those are the top 3, right? And soy as well, actually. Those can all have impacts on environmental allergies. So understand that. It's a big, big, big deal. Clean up the diet. Trying to ask what people were talking about in the academy. Am I getting them all? Yeah, keep going. This is great. I have it, Krista. Krista, my experience says, yes, you can gain weight in that scenario. Yes, 100%. I keep coconut charcoal in my wallet. Perfect. Be careful. Don't pop those capsules open. They will make a terrible mess. I have been breaking out lately, but still eating well. Maybe stressed like Krista. Depends. So, Laura, if I remember correctly, you're fairly new to this journey. Fairly new, relatively new. You've been around for a little while. But remember, this can go one of 2 ways. So if your body is still detoxing, breakouts will happen then. Like Krista, for example, had breakouts in the very beginning. Her sugar detox was tremendously bad. She was a superb little sugar burner there for her entire life, right? So she'd get these breakouts like in the very beginning or breakouts, whatever. Now it can be the type of thing where if you've removed a food for quite some time, you have a little bit of it. And it can even be something that other people don't have problems with. Like you may have dark chocolate that's over 80%, so it's technically Clovis approved, but it has dairy and soy lecithin in it or something like that, which is just an emulsifier. It's generally harmless for most people, but not everybody. You might have just a little something that sets you off where your body's like, oh shit, inflammation, right? You know, stress is huge for this. Stress can definitely lead to breakouts. Another thing to remember is all of your products, right? Women tend to just gloss over this. I'm telling you, like I know a lot of you are going to comment and say, no, Justin, I only use stuff from the approved products. I know that. Some of you are gangsta when it comes to Clovis. I get it. But not all women are. Some women are like, wait a minute, you're telling me shampoo and conditioner has chemicals? Tough shit, dude. Like, I want fluffy, flowing hair. I don't care, right? Like, I don't care what you say. Like, I'm going to put makeup on. I'm not going to buy approved brands. I'm going to put makeup on. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And you're going to continue getting acne. I don't know what else to tell you. That's just the way it's going to go, right? I'm not saying that's the case with you. It might not be. You might be like, hey, dude, I don't wear makeup at all. But makeup, stress, sleep, all sorts of food sensitivities are a really big deal. It's really kind of hard to pinpoint unless you're willing to just narrow stuff down and be like, I'm not going to wear makeup for a week and I'm going to eat perfectly. And then one day I'm going to introduce dark chocolate and see what happens. It's really tricky to pinpoint. Unless it's a real serious problem, I wouldn't really be worried about it, because it's only when you have immense, like some of the crazy before and after pictures we have of like eczema or rosacea or things like that, that's leaky gut. That's leaky gut manifesting. That's inflammation from leaky gut manifesting as a problem. Psoriasis, eczema, real bad acne where you're like, I need to take pharmaceutical drugs for this, right? That's where you're dealing with a leaky gut issue. But if it's like, oh, I have a pimple on my chin or 3 pimples on my cheek or something like that, it's a little fluke. There's something going on. It's very difficult to pinpoint. Very difficult. Laura, for me, stress definitely contributes to this, but your cycle can too. Yes, 100%. I always forget that because I'm not a woman. In email, I always ask that. If somebody says, hey, I'm having these breakouts. I'm like, when are those breakouts happening? They're like, well, it happens like once a month. And I'm like, oh, does it? Tell me more. You know, and they're like, oh, duh. Okay. What else we got? Sydney asked that in the academy. You were cracking me up 3/4 drunk. Yeah, something like that. Remember, I've been a professional musician for 15 years. My 3/4 drunk is pretty far. Oh, geez, maybe it's from the sanitizer in the skills lab. See what I'm saying? Think about the big picture. Always think about the big picture. I know you're not an expert in this field, but would it be crazy to wear minimalist shoes for clinicals? No, it would be fantastic. Like 8 to 12 hours twice a week for now in the hospital, just wondering if it would be bad or hard for us. No, it wouldn't be at all. It wouldn't be at all. Build those muscles up. It'll help. It'll actually help you with your half marathon goal. Like for sure. Like you should be wearing, like, that's another reason why I love Vivo Barefoot, because Vivo Barefoot has shoes that aren't just these wacky minimalist shoes. Like, oh, you see someone in barefoot shoes and you're like, there's that hippie in barefoot shoes. But today, right, if you guys follow me at the Clovis Culture or on Justin Nault, you'll see me, I hiked in the rainforest with Chuck Taylors, with Converse All-Stars, right? I hiked in the rainforest. It was muddy, it was slushy, I walked through water. I don't care, right? Like, I don't need hiking boots, everybody. Like, and then when the terrain was particularly tricky, I took my shoes off and went barefoot. Maybe people need hiking boots. Maybe I'm just a little tougher than they are. I don't know what to tell you people, right? It's just like, it's not a big deal. It's not a huge deal. We were barefoot literally like forever for all of human history. And now we have these ridiculous, we need this to go out into the streets. It's very important. We're barefoot. We might die. It's horseshit. It's complete horseshit, right? So I don't know. The more barefoot, the better. I do all my training barefoot. I told you guys before, part of the reason that I built a gym in my house is because I got tired of people walking over to me in the gym going, sir, you need to put your shoes on. This is not safe. All right, dude, whatever. So I built a gym in my house so I can train barefoot. I just wore Crocs for the first time in my life. I thought I'd need more support, but they're actually comfortable. Minimalist shoes. Vivo Barefoot, because you can get different styles. Vivo Barefoot has dress shoes. They have sneakers. They have ones that look like barefoot shoes for runners. There's obviously Vibram. Vibram has sandals and all sorts of things, right? Seasonal allergies. Nurses, do you use the hospital sanitizers? That's really tricky, right? That's really tough because, yeah, you kind of have to. In a medical setting, you're probably going to have to use hand sanitizer and things like that, in which case, Laura, hold on. Guys, I forget I can type. This is so crazy. I'm going to send you two. MotherDirt.com. I'm giving you guys so much free information right now. Go to MotherDirt.com. Crap. Oh, I don't know the website, but I'm going to put this. Probiotic action. Okay? both of those. These are sprayable probiotics. So, Laura, what you could do is take Mother Dirt to work with you, and every time you use hand sanitizer, spray Mother Dirt, which is a probiotic for the skin, okay? Because you have the microbiome of your back is different than the microbiome of your armpit, is different than the microbiome of your vajayjay. Completely different, okay? Multiple different biomes all over your body. Your back microbiome can't survive in your armpit. Your chest microbiome can't survive on the tip of your nose. It's crazy. There's bacteria everywhere. We're more bacteria than we are human, okay? So get something like Mother Dirt, game changer. Same thing, broken nose and piece lodged in my sinus cavity. Yeah, it's pretty terrible. And I went 4 years before I knew that I had that lodged in. It was terrible. Alter ego, 85% makes me break out. There you go, right? This is the reason why you're never going to see me remove something like eggs from the approved foods list, because plenty of people have egg sensitivities. I can't remove every single food that everyone would ever have a sensitivity to, or there would be 0 foods on the approved foods list, right? It's crazy. But yeah, you got to be your own detective. I do, fortunately, of course. I don't get sick often, but I'm waiting for my end of summer cold to hit. What's the experience with Clovis and illness? Does the being a gangster Clovis person super? Yeah, 100%. Now, and I've talked about this before. If you feel something coming on, you should always have host defense mushrooms in your house. Host defense, I recommend the capsules. The capsules are way better. Host defense, my community is an immune booster. Hold on, I travel with this. Hold on. All right, this is something that I take every day. This is host defense. This is longevity support. So this is basically just a series of mushrooms in a capsule. Let's read. Yeah, it's basically reishi mushrooms. But anyway, host defense is one of my favorite products in the world. So get host defense, my community, have it in your house. The second you feel a cold coming on, take 4 to 6 of these bad boys a day. 48 hours later, you will feel nothing. They're miracles, literally miracles. I need to be an ambassador for these. It's insane. I have bottles of these all over the house. It's crazy. What else we got? Taza, trying to eliminate stress by sending the kid to college. Of course it causes stress. I mean, stress is a part of life, right? You just gotta try to handle it the best you can. You have to combat it. Haven't worn makeup for almost a month. Started running Vivo barefoot shoes, and I kind of want to get a pair for the hospital. I think you should, absolutely. How long does it take for leaky gut to heal? Completely different for every single person. I can't even give you a ballpark estimate of that. Now, I can tell you this. You can manipulate and change your entire gut bacteria ratio in 48 hours, literally. If you go get 2 whole leeks, like the onions, leeks, L-E-E-K, and chop them up and saute them in a pan with a bunch of grass-fed butter or a bunch of avocado oil, and eat those whole things, like a full plate of leeks, you'll change your gut microbiome in 12 hours. It's insane. You can manipulate the gut microbiome very quickly. The healing process for leaky gut is a little more tricky. And I can't even make I can't make any kind of recommendation on that. I really don't know. It's different for everyone. Love Chucks, hate shoes, go barefoot, twist my arm, Mother Dirt, probiotic action. Oh, I just posted, that's my comment. Chucks. But like, will this protect us from MRSA and shit? Yeah. I don't even know what you guys are talking about. You guys are talking nurse talk now. C. diff, fecal matter transplants. You guys know that that's all fecal matter transplants are approved for in the US is C. diff. It's the only thing you can actually get insurance to cover it and get the doctors to do it for you. Fecal matter transplant is C. diff. All right, scrub, or you will be having fecal transplants. Yeah, that's what she's talking about, right? What's up, JP? JP's here. Are stomach noises, rumbling, growling, bubbling a good sign or bad? I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't worry much about it. It just means you're hungry. You may need more calories. That's the thing is sometimes I think Clovis people, like, they figure out that they're not hungry all the time. They figure out that fasting is pretty easy. And they have this thing of like, oh, my belly growled. I'm never supposed to be hungry. I'm not burning fat. It's like, being hungry is a perfectly natural part of your life. You should be hungry and you should eat when you're hungry, right? Unless you're practicing fasting for some reason or doing an intermittent fast or whatever, but like, you're gonna be hungry and your belly's gonna growl. My belly growls sometimes, 100%. It's not a bad thing at all. No, I wouldn't think about it as bad, not at all. I wouldn't even say it depends. It's like, Now, I'm in Puerto Rico, right? So people are shoving fruit in my face all the time, right? So we hired this local tour guide. She brings us out to tour the rainforest and has these gifts for us. She's like, here's some star fruit. Here's some local pineapple. Here's some local mango. So I'm like, okay, sure. Up. Eating this stuff, right? Hiking the rainforest, getting plenty of workout in, and eat this stuff. And all of a sudden, like 40 minutes later, my stomach is rumbling and growling. I'm like, oh, I'm really, really hungry. I'm not used to this kind of hunger pain. I'm not used to this. I'm like, oh, this is really uncomfortable because I had a bunch of freaking fructose, right? And I'm not used to that. How do you know if the gut is healed? You'll know if you were having, that's the thing, you might not, unless you were having significant symptoms. If you were like, every time I eat, I'm in the bathroom within 20 minutes, this is crazy, this is terrible. Like, when that changes, you're gonna know. Like, it's the first time somebody realizes that that's been eating wheat their whole life. And like my buddy Paul was a dueling piano player, and I mean, sometimes he would just run off stage while we're playing. Run off stage, come back 5 minutes later. And you're like, that's weird. What's this dude doing, you know? And then I found out that he lived 30 plus years of his life without knowing he was celiac. He thought it was normal to go to the bathroom 11 times a day. He thought it was normal because that was his normal. That was his new normal, right? So for him, when he figured out that he was celiac and started changing things and his gut started to heal, he for sure knew. If it's not as extreme for you, I don't exactly know how you know if your gut is healed, unless you're willing to do something like get a full GI map. The last full GI map I did, my functional doc was like, yeah, dude, your stomach is basically a fortress. like my GI map was literally as close to perfect as you're gonna get. Like it was crazy. So I don't really worry about anything anymore. When I stop eating early in the day, I have a noisy belly at night. Yeah, of course. Well, if it's not because you're hungry, why would your stomach rumble and growl if it was not hungry? And how are you telling me that you know it's not from hunger? If your stomach is growling and yelling at you like you're hungry, you're hungry. It's not doing it for no reason, right? Your leptin and ghrelin hormones are being manipulated by something that you're doing. It's either perfectly normal because you're not eating enough, and if you're Clovis protocol, right, and you're eating everything perfectly, and that's still happening, you're not eating enough. Eat more. Start with protein and then move on to fat, right? Yes, I practiced Espanol quite a bit in Puerto Rico. But again, I didn't realize that it was basically the primary language here. I really didn't know that. I thought it would be mostly English. Like before I went to Peru, I went deep and was like, I was basically the translator on the trip to Peru. But that was over 2 years ago now. And I've let my skills slip, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know that I should have brushed up on them before I came here. So I can get by. If you drop me off in the middle of Puerto Rico or the middle of Peru with no cell phone and no map, I'll figure out a way to get myself out of it. I can communicate, it's not a big deal. But by no means close to fluency or anything. All right. Processing, yeah, I guess so. I think you guys, I think I've made you guys hypersensitive. I think that's what's happening. I think you're worrying about some stuff that you don't need to worry about. I think we've made you hypersensitive, and not everything is a symptom, everybody. Just know that. Not everything is a symptom. I promise you, okay? The other thing you can do, if you want to try, is Biogest. I love Thorne Research. Let me type this here. This is in your supplement stuff on I Am Clovis, so you're getting some stuff for free. Thorne Research, Biogest. It's the best digestive enzyme I've ever seen in my life. I keep it in my house. Another great thing, if you're hearing a lot of rumbling right after your meals, you probably have kind of weak digestion or weak stomach acid. So try something like apple cider vinegar. Bragg's is perfect with the mother. Take Bragg's unfiltered apple cider vinegar, tablespoon or two, or Biogest, take 1 capsule before your meal or with your meal or whatever, and it might not be as noisy. Puerto Rico, yeah, that's true. Give me upset stomach. Is it probably just dose dependent? What? Zinc gives you an upset stomach? Depends, dude. Okay, remember, there's a reason why I started I Am Clovis. There's a reason why I have a supplement recommendation section of I Am Clovis. This drives me nuts, right? People will sign up for I Am Clovis, and then they send me a list, right? They go, okay, you're going to build me custom nutrition plans. They go, I take 3,000 milligrams of omega-3s. I take 5,000 IU of vitamin D. I take 3 grams a day of vitamin C. I take this. They send me a laundry list of all their supplements. They never tell me the brand name, not once. If you guys think that all brands are created equal, I don't know what to tell you. You've never listened to me speak about anything. right? It's not even close. I have maybe 2 to 3 brands that I actually trust for anything. Do you know what one of the biggest problems in America is? The sewage system, and the billions of undigested supplement capsules and tablets and pills that are in the sewage system clogging everything up. They literally pass right through your system without being digested. If you tell me that you take 3 grams a day of omega-3s, or you take 500 milligrams a day of zinc, and what you did was you walked into Vitamin Shop and said, what's your cheapest zinc tablet? And you started taking that. Or you walked into Walmart and said, what's your cheapest omega-3 supplement? You're eating rancid omega-3s. Don't do it. You are wasting your money. Stop it. There's a reason why the supplement industry is a $30 billion a year industry. It's completely unregulated, and most of that shit passes through your system without getting digested. I'm not trying to get you guys to spend more money. When you look at the supplement list and you're like, Thorne Biogest is $40 for digestive enzymes. GNC has digestive enzymes for $12. That's $12 of wasted money versus $40 of well-spent money that actually does something for you. You get what you pay for. Always know that. Always, always, always. There's a reason why I give you supplement recommendations. There's a reason why my protein powder costs 9 times more to manufacture than the average whey protein. 9 times. 9x. That's 900% more for me to manufacture my protein powder versus the protein powder that you're picking up at GNC and Walmart and all the other superstores of the world, right? It's crazy. All right, guys. So, but are there any good supplements to take? Okay, I'll answer this one, and then I'm going to give you guys a special deal, and then I'm going to bail. It's my last night in Puerto Rico, and I'm going to go have some fun, okay? Alzheimer's. I lost my mom's mom to Alzheimer's. I lost my mom's dad to dementia. It was slow. It was painful. It was years and years and years. My mom is not in the best health. I wish that she would do more. What I would recommend for you right now, and some of it will run contradictory to Clovis, you have to decide who you believe more. I would tend to go with you. But pick up the book Genius Foods by, oh God, I never know how to say his name, Max Lugervase or something like that. Also on his website, I wish I knew this. Let me see if I can look up the guy's name. But his website, as you can just enter your email and get his free supplements list, and he'll send you a supplement list, which is pretty fantastic. So this dude knows what he's talking about, but he's literally just talking about brain activity. So let's give you a link right here. Boom, there you go. Yeah, Lugavere, whatever his name is. There you go. Great guy, great book, awesome. Do it, check that out. All right, so I promised you guys something special. I'm gonna duck off here. It's been about 45 minutes. So I'm gonna sip some wine, and then I'll give you guys a deal. So I've realized that people love fat loss, people love digest and rest. A lot of you, I think, are afraid to grab pre-workout and post-workout, probably because pre-workout and post-workout use organic coconut palm sugar. So people are like, sugar, what? But here's what I'm gonna do today, because I want people to try this, and I want you to understand that it's very beneficial, especially for those of you that do any kind of fitness whatsoever. Any of you that want to gain muscle, any of you that want to work out, don't really know where to start. I probably should have done this deal when I did the life after success, what happens after success, right? You want to get into workouts. If you want, some of you that want abs, some of you that want a nicer butt, some of you that want more toned arms, and you're moving into things where you're working with me and we're doing fitness protocols, we're doing training protocols and all those things. So here's all you have to do. Go to clovis.store, type in this, that's your discount code, Puerto Rico, right? Discount code, everybody. We haven't done this forever. Discount code. Type in discount code Puerto Rico, clovis.store, and I'm going to give you 50% off 30 serving bags of pre-workout and post-workout. I don't care if you buy 100 bags. Doesn't matter. Buy 100 bags, sell them to your friends for 75% of total price. Make some money off it. I don't care. I don't care what you do. You can buy as many pre-workout, as many post-workout bags as you want. I have to be clear, this is only for 30 serving bags. I'm giving you 50% off, and I'm only giving you 50% off for the next 48 hours. So I don't like that I didn't have a great, crazy prepared AMA for you. This is AMA number 37. There's been some great content here. I love that we've been going on about this stuff. It's really, really great topics. Thank you guys for the questions. Thank you for being here. So I'm giving you 50% off pre-workout and post-workout. I do not ship to Canada, sorry. Pre-workout and post-workout, 50% off. You have 48 hours. The deal's live right now. Tested it just before I went live, so I know that it's working. Pre-workout and post-workout. Pre-workout is only in strawberry, of course. Post-workout, both vanilla, cacao, all flavors, everything, 30 serving bags, 50% off. I'm telling you, you can put 40 bags in your cart and check out for 50% off. Not a big deal. Going to buy all the post-workout because gym is deployed. Do it. Drunk Puerto Rico Justin needs to come around more often. Where in Canada? Yeah, Sean, you can work out to Canada with the other people. I actually planned this before I got here, but you know. You guys can tell me how wine drinking Justin is compared to normal AMA Justin. Now I'm going to start slurring words and stuff. I thought about this before. If you guys haven't seen this, I may do a drunk dialing podcast because I think that would be really fun. If I just drink a bunch of tequila and dry farm wines and then call you guys. So I may do that in the future where I'll just, I'll put a post up that day and say like, send me your numbers as a message, first come, first serve. Then I'll call you guys and I'll record it. So know if you send me your number, you're going to get recorded. But I may do drunk dialing episodes because I think it'd be really fun. It'd be awesome, right? It'd be great. So many shakes are about to be made. I live an hour from Montreal. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, talk to the Canada people, Sean. Figure that out. Chat with them. Message Joel. That'd be awesome. Killer. What was the code? Scroll up, dude. It's Puerto Rico. I'm in Puerto Rico. Come on, man. Wine Justin is a little more chill. Yeah, I'm also not talking about kids. I'm going to say this, and then we're going to check out, right? Let's be very happy that not one of you asked me about childhood nutrition while drunk Justin was here, because that would have been a real problem. You have no idea, like a real problem. Wait, yes, please. Drunk dials. Love, wine Justin equals deal Justin equals win, right? Here we go. All right, guys. My name is Justin Nault. You know that. You're all Clovis people. I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me do what I love. I'm so fortunate that I get to be here with you guys on Wi-Fi from Puerto Rico. It's crazy, right? We can do this from anywhere. I'm going to be traveling more. Doing pianos is coming out of my life slowly, which means Clovis is going to be taking more and more and more of my time. I'm going to be doing more and more and more for you. I have some gear on its way to my house. It's delivered at my house now. I'm just not there to grab it. There's gear at my house right now for the new podcast. I'm already planning interviews like Rob Wolf, things like that, right? So the podcast is going to be awesome. I'm going to do some drunk dial podcasts. I think that'll be really fun. Thank you guys so much for all the things that you do for me. I want you to understand that. You literally are letting me live my dream here. This is fantastic. It's the most fulfilled I've ever been. It's the work that I've enjoyed more than anything I've ever done. I love you guys for it. Thank you so much. This is Justin, live, Ask Me Anything, number 37, from Puerto Rico. Thank you guys so much for being here. Have a great night. Review these questions. It was pretty good, so I'll put it out as a podcast. It's going to be great. I'll edit it. I'm back in Nashville tomorrow. I'll answer all your questions, all your emails, all the things, custom plans, share with your friends, click the emoji buttons, make me happy, give me that dopamine hit. Go to Instagram at Justin Nault and at The Clovis Culture. There's some really cool stuff there, and I'm gonna be posting more. So awesome. Drunk Justin's give us some secrets. What? Maybe. Thank you guys. Live. Ask Me Anything. Number 37. Justin Nault from Puerto Rico. Signing off. Thank you guys. Have a good night.